All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about how do I finish the fly, right? You've just created this beautiful fly or something along those lines. I know when you're beginning fly tires, you're like, this looks like crap. You know what? Honestly, a lot of the times, the things that look like crap fish better than the stuff that looks really pretty. That being said, how do I finish the fly, right? So you've got several options, and we're going to go over those real quickly. One, your fingers. You can finish your thread off, right, at the head using your fingers. That was the first tool that fly tires used. Okay. Secondly, and the most popular way, and the way that I recommend, is learn how to use the whip finish. Okay. Next, we have the option of the bodkin. Okay. The little stick with the pointy thing and a handle. And if you buy a good bodkin, it'll have a little hole in the back. We're going to show you, or I'm going to show you how to use that little hole in the back to finish your fly. And finally, glue of some kind. There's different kinds of glue. There's this crazy glue. This is the glue that I use when I build my big streamers. It's also the same glue that I use when I finish my midges. Okay? Or I also use Solarez, UV glue. And that's pretty much all I use as far as glues anymore are concerned anyway. Stay away from the glues, okay? Stay away from the glues. Learn how to finish it by hand with the whip finish and so on first. There's always time to learn glue later. I'm going to just get that a little more centered because I want to zoom in. Excuse me. And so what we're going to do here is I'm going to zoom in and get that centered, so in case you need to zoom in, hopefully that's right in the middle of your screen. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start our jam knot, okay? One in front, one in back, take it back. We're not going to tie on any material or anything here. We're just going to focus on how you finish the head. All right, so let's go over the first way. Now, I'm going to tell you right up front, I cannot hand whip finish worth of crap. That's something I'm still working on. So, you see some guys go, yeah, don't feel ashamed with that. That's something you can develop over time. I've been tying quite a while, and I'm still kind of working on that. It's just a trick of the trade that's an old school deal. What you can do is your index finger, and I'm going to show you how to use that. I guess I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit on this one. So when you finish the fly, you pull some extra thread out. My bodkin's way over here. Okay, you're going to bring your finger on the front side in and back, and you're going to give yourself some room because you're going to kind of come up like this. You see how that thread's coming around? I'm going to pull this bodkin up. The whole idea is to encompass the thread around your fingertip. We're going to take it and turn. I'm going to place my fingertip on there. It didn't finish quite where I wanted to. I just trimmed my nail. So if I do it a little faster and I use my nail, I can kind of guide that to where I want it. Okay, did you see how that worked? I'll do it again. Whip, whip. Around the finger. Oh, it's stuck. There we go. And then just pull straight down. That's essentially what's called the half hitch knot. Okay? You can finish your fly that way. And then trim it off and you're good to go. Take my razor blade. Let's get rid of that real quick. Razor blade, good tool to have on hand. Flex razors, excellent. Big sturdy razors, excellent. for stripping material, especially if you got wire or something very hard. Keep that in mind. For just thread, use the flex blade. Works way better. So we're going to do this again. We're going to start the thread. Come back. Trim this off. Okay. So we just did the half hitch with our index finger, right? Let's bring the bodkin into play. The hole on the end of your bodkin is a half hitch tool. It's designed to slide over the front because it's much skinnier than your skinny fat finger, right? Because your finger is going to be way fatter than, I mean, I even actually have skinny fingers. That's why you got to use the nail. Kind of slide the thread off your nail. You're going to do the same kind of thing on typically one of these, I don't know, 5 or 6 flat points. What is that, an octagon or whatever? Doesn't matter. I'm not a mathematician. So we're going to bring it forward like we're finishing the head. And it's going to be the same thing. Bring it up front, catch your catch the back of your bodkin or the half hitch tool in, pull it up and around, and then we're just going to kind of twist it. You see, I'm literally just wrapping it around. As this happens, what's happening is you're creating a twist in this line. Okay, and so you can leave it kind of loose. Well, I'm going to lose it if I'm not careful. I'm just going to redo it. Since I did it slow, now I'm going to do it a little faster. Okay, there we go. Now you can place this tool right where you want it and pull it all off and come down. So now when I move this thread around, I can't really show you through demonstration, but if you do this correctly, you'll see what I'm saying. The thread isn't going to unwind. It's going to want to keep wrapping one way or the other. So you can do this. What I typically do if I just do a half hitch, I'll do it a double half hitch, place it, double half hitch, place it, in a third time, place it, pull that thread tight, pull it tight. Every time you do any kind of a finish for your head, make sure you pull that thread tight. Sorry, this pollen's starting to get to me again, man. Everything's pollinating around here. And you essentially have you've just finished off your fly. So we're going to trim this off. Take our razor blade. And scrape this. Let's just get that out of the way. There we go. Now we're going to do it again. We're going to... There we go. Start that head up. Clip this off. Come back. Now we're going to do the whip finish. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Maybe I'll wait just a second. Actually, I'll zoom out a little bit. So what we're going to do is with the whip finish, this thing rotates. If you hold the base, it rotates, right? And you want it to do that. But you want to place your index finger on that ball so that you can kind of slide. See how I'm sliding this around in my fingers? You want to be able to do that when you whip finish, okay? That's kind of a crucial point. So when you whip finish, we're going to come in at an angle, kind of like we're stabbing the thread, okay? So we're going to come in, and we're going to see where my thumb is, that little loop, or that, not the loop, but the little hill there, reverse hill. I mean, hell, what do you call it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. You catch it with this hook up front, you bring it down underneath, you pull it up, okay? We're going to bring it out to the side, and we're going to twist to the left one time. What this is doing, I'm going to undo this and zoom in so you can see that now. What this is doing is we're creating an X. And as you pull your bodkin up with the thread on the back side, catching it on the front side of the shank, we're creating like a little triangle. Okay, so we start with an X, we catch it on the front side, we're going to slide it up with our left hand to form a triangle. Now we're going to rotate to the back of the hook. See that? I've got an X in my line. I bring my line down. We're going to create a triangle. Bring it up and over. The goal is to keep this line on the bottom side of the shank. And what we do as we're doing this, okay, we are capturing this line, the one on the bodkin side, this loose. We are capturing that. Okay, we're capturing that. So then we're going to kind of pull out front. And I'm going to set this down for just a second so I can zoom out so you can see it. We're going to lift up, and the reason this little lump is there is so that you can slide the thread off of the whip finish. We will turn down and we pull with the bodkin, or I'm sorry, the bobbin, right to where you want that placement. See, I've got that captured, right? Boom. Right to where you want it. Now you can simply just release a little tension, slide that out, and pull down. Okay, pull down. So we're going to do it again. I want to do it at an outward angle so you can see it. We're going to kind of come in and stab the thread with this little hook. We're going to stab the thread, bringing it into this little loop notch, up and over. We're going to cross the thread to make an X. With our right hand, we're going to come down and under. See how I'm rotating that? I'm going slow. And then up over the back side. And the goal, see, I'm doing it too slow, my thread's fraying. The goal is to keep that thread on the bottom side. If it slips up and over, it's fine, but that thread will tend to move if it's not on the bottom side. So here it is. X, triangle, 1, 2, 3. See, I kept it on the bottom side that time. Pull tight and just let it slide off the hook. The whip finish is the way to go. I would recommend practicing the whip finish over and over without any material on the hook. Don't waste your material, especially as a new fly tire and you've just bought all this material that you're already struggling to use. Practice using your thread, okay? Your thread's much cheaper than having to go buy new pheasant tail, new hair, new this, that, dubbing, whatever. So practice with this. Practice over and over until you get it. Glue. There's a lot of different kinds of glue out there, okay? I've used a lot of them. I'm not going to name names, but there are a crap ton that I do not like. I have found that this crazy glue that you buy at Walmart for, I don't know, it's $1.50 or $2. It comes with a brush applicator. It stays nice and thick. It soaks directly into the thread, which is fantastic. I love that. It lasts quite a long time, and it doesn't harden or anything like that unless you leave the cap off. If you leave the cap off, you're screwed, and you'll have to go spend $1.50. One other thing that you can use, which a lot of tires use, is Sally Hansen's. This is the double dry. A lot of guys say, what is it, hard as nails or whatever it is. I have found that this double duty works extremely well. I've never bought the hard as nails because I bought this bottle and I've been using this while I've been tying now for like the last 3 years. That's how much I've used. It's still liquid. It doesn't dry out. It's been through extreme weather changes. So it's what you could consider frozen. As far as UV glue, I have tested a bunch and I am now a Solarez guy. And that's it. I just use Solarez now. So use one of the adhesives if you have to, but practice that whip finish. That's where you need to be.